Happy Mommy's Day! So I'm doing something a little different since you're on a very strict food intake, what you do, what you can eat, not necessarily can, but want, blah, blah, blah. Chocolate covered strawberries aren't on the list for Mommy Day treats anymore, so I can't send that. And since you're leaving in a day and a half, to come here so I can hug you and celebrate you even more, sending you flowers is probably not smart either because they'll just die and you won't be there to enjoy them. So I thought it might be neat to walk you down a little bit of memory lane. Um, a lot of my life, I've, for some reason, remembered a lot of negative and bad things, and you've made comments here and there and said, do you remember anything good about you and I? And I feel bad. I really do. And I want to take a moment to let you know that I absolutely adore you and I have so many fond memories of you. And I may have said them, sprinkled them here and there throughout the years, but I thought it might be nice for you to hear them, as many as I can sort of gather up right now for you and share them with you. So here's a few, and I've written them down so that I don't get lost. I haven't written them verbatim, but I've given myself some ideas, and hopefully I can read it because my glasses are on my head and I don't want to put them on because I already look bad enough. I'm tired and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, let's see. Oh, yes. One of my earliest memories is riding, I don't know, maybe Oxnard area, I'm assuming. Maybe we lived up north more, I'm not sure. But I think it was you going through Oxnard. But I was in the back of the car, the back seat, and listening to 110 Soldier, and you were delivering pharmaceuticals. And it was so fun. Whatever hills you were riding on, it was so fun. And I remember lots of French fries. I know you confirmed that, the French fry thing last year, but I remember lots of French fries. They're so good. Pretending to be a switchboard operator. Goodness, I loved your job as a switchboard operator, especially the one, I think it was in La Jolla, I'm not sure, but you were on graveyards, and oh my gosh, I loved it so much because I could pretend, I could stay up late, and I could watch these crazy, scary segments. I don't know what it was. It wasn't the Twilight Zone, but there were these half an hour or 15-minute shows, and they were really kind of freaky. One of them was about the human eating plant. I can't even think of the name of it, but there was one about that, and then the big spiders that come over the hills and eat people, and they stick in my mind, and I still have nightmares, but I really actually am fond of them, so strangely enough. Vacaville. I love the name, the word, but Vacaville. I loved our trips going there, and I know there was someone special there that I got to play with, I think, but just knowing we were going to Vacaville was a lot of fun, or maybe we just lived there and that's why it was so much fun. I'm sorry, I was pretty young. But the word Vacaville always makes my heart very fond. Sending me to spend time with Grandpa and Grandma, yeah, for extended periods, a week, a month, whatever. But it was always really, really wonderful to be able to go and see my grandma and grandpa. And I think I was really young on my first flight, like 5 or 7 or something like that. And it was so exciting. But the best part of it was Grandma always had a special room for me. And in that room, in a drawer, I would always find some Cracker Jacks or Peeps or something like that. Something special that it just made the whole trip start out really exciting because I knew there was something special for me. So that is a warm memory, of course. Sitting in the back of courtrooms. I think I was a little bit older, but it was probably summer breaks or maybe after school, and I met you at work downtown in San Diego, and I would spend the days in the back of courtrooms, and I just thought it was very interesting. No idea what they were talking about, don't remember, but everybody was so professional and they sounded so intelligent, so very intellectual. So it was really exciting, and I loved the judges, and I loved the blind man at the gift counter or the snack counter. But I do love that. Eating Whoppers. I love me some Whoppers. Haven't had any in years. Really love them, but I really hated it when you would get a desire to have a whole box, the like milk container box of them, because that meant I had to walk my happy butt all the way to Kmart in Spring Valley from our house on Meadowbrook. And I don't know if it's not that far, maybe my childhood brain makes it seem like it was miles. Maybe you wanted a nap and you just needed me out of the house, but that was some crazy arse walking. And I didn't like that part, but I did love the Whoppers, so that was good. Some of my favorite comfort foods my mommy made: mac and cheese, which I love making for my Johnny, avocado cottage, and Doritos. Imagine if they had the cool ranch Doritos then that they have now. That would have been so divine. Celery mac. Homemade mama's tacos. Yum. Fried chicken. I love your fried chicken. It was so, so good. Still can't figure out how to make it myself, but I think I do a decent job. Potato soup. I don't know if that was Daddy or you, the potato soup and the chili, but then turning it into chili mac with lots of cheese. I loved the feeling that I was, that you trusted me enough at a very early age to be able to go on solo field trips all by myself. That's what solo means. To the zoo. I love that. And I think it was one, maybe I got you to do it 2 or 3 times, but SeaWorld. I was really ecstatic over SeaWorld because that was someplace I really, really loved and hadn't gone too much because I'd gone to the zoo so much. But that day was really special in my mind. It was a long trek there and it was a long trek home, but it was really neat to be able to experience it on my own. And I always felt really good about the fact that you trusted me enough, you and Daddy both, of course. This is probably not the best memory for you, but after it all happened, it was, and still is, a very warm memory for me. But walking home in high school in the rain and taking a shortcut because I felt like I could get home faster and wouldn't get so wet. But at the same time, you were out looking for me to give me a ride home. And I know Aunt Jerry said her thing, her 2 cents, and you trusted me as you always did, and I let you down. But I have to tell you that even to this day, I am so touched that you cared enough to come pick me up out of the rain. And to think I could have been a little drier than I was, but that touches my heart that you wanted to do that for me. Your smell, Lancome. I know. I still don't really care for it that much, but it's my mommy's smell, and I adore it. So I remember when I was young, very young, mostly on Meadowbrook because I was a little bit older to understand, but I would, when you and Daddy were at work and I was trusted to be at home alone, I would sit in your closet and I would try on all your shoes. And I would sometimes try on some of your dresses, but mostly your heels and your shoes, which were lots of fun and turned me into a shoe freak that I am now. And my favorite, which I told you about last year, was your jewelry box. And opening every single little drawer and the the way that it opens up like this, and just trying every single piece on, but being sure that I put it right back in the same spot. I was always worried you'd catch me. But I love that jewelry box so much, and I know it's a very special thing that Daddy got for you overseas. You probably didn't know, but I laid in your bed, on your side of the bed, all the time when you guys weren't home. I just like to be near you guys. Cricket, my baby, and you getting me a little puppy when I was so young and she was just a few weeks old. I remember that I think it was her first night home and you were making tacos in the kitchen on Florida. I don't know if it was the first night, but it seems like it was. She was so tiny and you almost stepped on her and you're like, oh my goodness, I thought it was a rat, mouse, or whatever. She's so tiny. So that's a funny memory to me. You always letting me move rooms on Meadowbrook. I loved being able to change it up and have a new place to decorate and call my own and move from room to room. That was so fun, and I still love doing that. I've got a new room for my office again, so I'm excited and I'm having fun redecorating it. Uh, Feeding the bunnies in the backyard on Meadowbrook cabbage and different kinds of vegetables. But the problem was with the raw cabbage, it barely made it out there. I was so busy eating the core of it that they were a little disappointed in me because I love, love, love fresh cabbage. I loved riding on the motorcycles, on the back of the motorcycles. I think I rode mostly on Daddy's, and I remembered that you were really grateful that I was not riding on yours the time that you had an accident. But I remember going around the corners up in the mountains and going for rides on the motorcycle. That was really beautiful. I wrote this down, and I think it's more of an epiphany than anything else because I really struggled when I was 18 to find a place, and children always do as they're adults. They just want to know that their parents are proud of them. But I wrote this down and it free flowed, and it was true. I remember seeing all through my childhood, even if I battled it and thought it wasn't there, your pride in me, your face of pride, and how you would beam when you would watch me. I remember seeing that, and that really, really carries me through because you still look at me that way, and it's a very, very, very uplifting thing. Um, Sipping tab. You told me I couldn't drink it. The only time I could drink it was when it was flat. I could drink it, no problem. But every once in a while, when I stick it in the fridge, I take a little sip. Never changed. Hated it. Thought it was the worst thing on earth. But it was kind of fun to try to sneak a sip. Um, when you guys weren't home, I sipped creme de mint, the Irish one, creme de mint, every once in a while to see what it tasted like. And again, ew! I don't know why I did it. Kept trying. Still not an alcoholic. Still not a big fan of it. But yeah, no. Watching scary movies. I love that. I remember though that when the movie It came out, the commercials were so scary to me. I'd have to leave the room. It was just a cradle, and it was like these two claws that hung over the cradle, and it was the song for the movie or the movie trailer, and it would just send me out of the room. I'd have to go into my room immediately. If I was by myself, oh, the world was over. So I couldn't wait till you got home. I loved going to the drive-in with you guys and eating the huge bowl of popcorn, which I think I just found out just in this last couple of years is actually not that big. In my mind's eye, it was this huge and it was filled with popcorn. Yum. Being a part of the Koala Club, and you still have my cup. I love that. And, you know, being a mom, I just, it's really daily I think about this. You said that I probably would, and I think every mom must, but I reflect on you and I think about you being a single mom, really, when Daddy was in Vietnam, and taking care of me and nurturing me and being on your own. And while you might have had Grandpa and Grandma not too far or Aunt Jerry not too far, really you did it on your own. And I just wanted to say thank you because I am the woman I am today because you were in my life and you were heavy duty in my life and you took an interest in your daughter and you wanted to be sure she was safe from outside influences. And while I might have been raised in a very regimented and strict atmosphere, I really am so grateful because I really love who I am today and I enjoy being a mommy and just love my friends and my family and my life, and I'm not an addict of any kind. I don't have bad habits. I never have. I've never been a partier. And I don't miss any of that. And I'm so thankful. And it's because I had you very strongly encouraging me to grow up to be a woman I do hope you are proud of. And I shouldn't say hope because I know deep in my heart you are. And I'm so thankful for your pride, for your influence, for your constant nurturing, for being there when I need you, and for making being a mommy fun. Because I wouldn't be the mommy I am with John if it weren't for you. want to thank you for that. And I often have my moments of reflecting back and thinking, I wonder what I was like at this age, and I wonder what I did, and I wonder if I drove you through the wall with certain silly little behaviors, or if I made you giggle all the time. And I wish I could remember, my first 3 years of life, but I don't. And hopefully those memories are still there for you, and I would love to hear them someday, because now experiencing them with John, I often wonder how I was. So maybe someday you'll share them with me when we have some time for coffee. So I think that's it for now. I've got lots of grown-up memories, but that can be for later. Mostly I wanted you to know my childhood memories and know that there are many, many good ones. They're not all bad. And I love you so, so much. I adore you. I can't wait for you to be here in a couple of days and have some quiet time with you, and then watch you and my son play together, and then whisk you off to Vegas and hug you back when you come and spend a few more days with you. So happy Mom's Day. Thank you. Thank you for being my mom. Thank you for still being here on earth. Thank you for working so hard to stay healthy and lose weight and get strong and be here for a lot longer.